I'm not knocking you because you're getting a grant to do your rites of passage. I'm not talking about those pet projects. I'm saying you cannot get a grant from white folk if you're trying to do some serious revolutionary work. Because your oppressor will never finance you from coming out from under his domain. Y'all don't get this because the white man is stuffing grants down your throat. Everywhere I go, you know you can get funding for your school, doc. At what cost? I let a white dollar in my school. You know what's coming along with that? Homosexual freedom. You know what's coming along with that? You got to teach Islam or Christianity. That's right. And the minute I don't do what they say I must do with that money, they'll be suing my ass until the school shut down. Do you know who invented the not-for-profit corporation? The Rockefeller family. You know why the Rockefellers invented the 501? And it's not categorically wrong, but you need to understand why they did it. Because their think tankers came to them and said, you know what? You can oppress people a whole lot better if you just give them some money. Why do you think you can't get nothing done in the black community? Because half your organizations is funded by the people you're supposed to be fighting. Why so many black churches don't do the work of the neighborhood no more? Because George Bush, 12 years ago, came up with the faith-based initiative. And he found a way to give black churches government money. You think that was by accident? They knew they was coming with the homosexual agenda 4 years later. So they said, we're going to make sure that they depended on our money before we smack them in the face with the LBGT movement. Before the faith-based initiative, you go to any black pastor, they would tell you, we don't do homosexuality here. That's right. 16 years ago, they wasn't going for it. Look at them now. You know why? Because they're getting paid to shut up. Faith-based initiative, FBI. The pastors are the new agents. Not all of them. Listen, when you're a pastor, you know all the community gossip. When you're a pastor, you know who the drug dealers. When you're a pastor, you know who fathering kids out of wedlock. When you're a pastor, you know who the revolutionaries are. If I am white supremacy, the number one advising group that I'm going to have in the black community is the pastors. Something else you got to give Mr. Garvey credit for. Not only was he the only modern leader who never took a dollar from another race, he's also the only modern leader who did not put a religion on his movement. That's right. They came to Garvey and said, make it an Islamic thing. He said, no, we got mosques. This is an African thing. They said, make it Christianity. No, sir. This is for black folks, all of them. You want to know why Garvey had 15 million? No other group broke 250,000 yet. Not even the Urban League or NAACP. The reason Garvey had 15 million is he did not make black people choose between religions. Everybody else came with a new religion. And when you do that, you cut people out. Because no matter how much you say this organization is for everybody, your religious ethos is a contradiction to their spiritual path. Garvey knew better. And then in 1920, they shook the world. Madison Square Garden, they had the first international convention of the Negro peoples of the world. And it blew people's minds because W.E.B. Du Bois had the Pan-African Conference in Europe. Mostly white folks. He had one, he had two, he had three, and then Garvey comes and does one, and 25,000 people show up from every corner of the world. And at that convention, they came up with a flag. Red, black, and green. And they said, this is the flag of the African peoples of the world. And why? Because there was a song out at the time sung by white folks, and the name of the song was Every Race has a flag except the coon. And they laughed at black folk. They said, y'all been slaves. Africa is colonized. The only two free countries you got on earth is Liberia, which ain't really free, and Ethiopia, which is being annexed by the Italians. Y'all ain't got no free country, not in the Caribbean, not in Africa. Every race got a flag but the coon. And Garvey said, we're going to do something about that. And those 25,000 came together and they voted and chose the red, black, and green. So when you wave that flag, know what the hell you waving. And make sure you know the order it's supposed to be in. Red on the top, black in the middle, green on the bottom. No other order is appropriate. Why red is first? Because not everybody in here got black skin. It ain't your skin color that make you African. It's the blood in your body that makes you African. That's why red is first. And black is second because it represents the original melanated pigmentation of the original Nile Valley black man and woman. And the green represents the wealth under the soil of Africa. The original colors were only three. There was no gold. Gold is often used now as an honorary color because when Jamaica became independent, Marcus Garvey's homeland, gold was one of their colors. They already had the black and the green, so gold is often added. Also, gold is in the Ethiopian flag, so gold is often added as a celebratory fourth, but there was no gold. Straight RBG. Sometimes you see the flag mixed up. And this is no disrespect to the organizations that mix them up, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. Whenever you see the red, black, and green flag being flown by an organization and the colors are not in order, trust me, whenever you see the red, black, and green flown by any organization in this country and the colors are not in order, it's because that's an organization that deals with white people. I'm telling you what I know. That's right. If you don't believe me, next time you see those colors out of order with the green on the top or the black on the top, study the group. And you will see they tolerate white folks. Remember, in the Garvey movement, you cannot belong if you were not an African. You cannot join if your wife was not African. That's right. That's right. Now, the UNIA have since relaxed their rules, and they allow you to join. Some chapters will allow you to join with a non-African spouse, but you can never be a leader or an officer. Garvey said black men for black women and black women for black men. We're not tolerating that shit. Some of you brothers take issue with that because you fail to realize that the only white women you allowed to date are the white women that no white man wants. I said you get the leftovers, goddammit. I can't help who I fall in love with. You's a damn lie. That white woman practicing military science on your dumb ass. She don't love you. Listen, I don't care if you loving a white person or you a friend with a white person. They might be your friend, but you ain't theirs. And every relationship that a white person has with a black person is to serve some end. That's right. You got white friends on the job, you serve an end for them. And once your end is up, you're done. Go ask Bill Cosby. That's right. Go ask O.J. Simpson. When you no longer serve a purpose, that friendship you think you got is over. And then you create biracial Africans. I love them. They ours. But they're often confused because their daddy selfishly procreated with a devil. And so now you have this baby that has the DNA of the deity and the devil at the same time. And now they got to navigate this existence because I'm half God and half Satan at once. I'm not knocking any of my biracial sisters or brothers in here, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The schism you got to live with. Being half oppressor and half oppressed, half raper and half rapist, half slave and half enslaver. No child should have to live with that type of guilt. Never being accepted by white folk and never being trusted by black ones. And what bothers me about it more than anything else, brother, is you are taking God's greatest mineral, not gold, not platinum, not silver, not oil, but melanin, and you putting it in the womb of the devil. Why would you give away that black gold like that? Why would you give away that black divinity like that? You don't do no nonsense like that. You keep that in the race.